right, legends. Dumpy, humpity dumpy, yeah, to the downside. So much fear in the market. It's just down here at the moment. Right, I think what is interesting to observe, because, you know, I'm looking at this momentum here on the 8-hour time frame. It just, you know, down here at the moment. And what is interesting to observe, like, it looks like it's going down on decreasing volume. So, I mean, volume can still increase, okay? Volume can still increase. But for now, okay, we are holding this point of control. Looks like we're getting a reaction at this little point of control that I have here on the chart. Looks like we are getting a reaction. It looks like we are struggling to close below this level. And I think if we do close a body, can you guys see me here properly? Okay, let me just do this. Make sure the sound is on. Okay, sometimes I just jump here into technical analysis. Let me zoom out a little bit so that I don't... Right, just jumping here into technical analysis. I will say hi to the community in a moment where I will go through some of the comments. Remember to smash up that like button. And yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion today. A little bit of a discussion, okay? Some elephants in the room that I need to remove. Okay, but yeah, from a technical perspective, this is what I'm watching, guys. High time frame candle should, you know, if it can hold this level, I think we have a chance. I'm not saying we're going to all-time highs, guys, but I think we have a chance if this area can hold that we could get a little bit of a relief rally, at least to the upside, and I want to take advantage of that move. For the pro community, myself and Andy did a live stream together, a private live stream with the Legends Pro community. Well, you guessed it, I got stopped out of my trade. Because I did highlight, okay, the safest way to get into the trade, and I will discuss to get what was the safest way to get into the trade. Right, so legends, I am going to highlight probabilities, scenarios. Remember, like the disclaimer that was highlighted just now, I am not a financial advisor. I'm doing this from an educational perspective, an entertainment perspective. You need to do your own research and make your own trading decisions. Okay. So maybe let's tackle that elephant in the room. Mr. Crypto Big Brain, welcome. Always appreciate to see the march here. I think I saw Stefan one as well. How's the deal? I was going to invite you for a braai when we're all millionaires. Looks like we had to be billionaires first. What happens to BTC dominance? Is there no alt season? It's, yeah, we can go through. Definitely, I want to discuss Bitcoin dominance as well. Okay, so let's discuss a little bit of the elephant in the room. Some of you, because I know most of you here are subscribed to Andy's YouTube channel as well. Okay, Andy got a strike on his YouTube channel for not complying to YouTube's policy rules, okay, which means he can't post for 7 days. So I'm just letting everyone know Andy will not be able to post or do any content on YouTube for the next, well, I think 6 days, because there's already a day past. Okay. And that is all because, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm sure you all have seen the messages flowing around on X about many YouTube influencers, especially from a trading perspective, which channels, they either got a strike, which means they can't produce any content, or their channels got deleted. Years and years and years worth of work just down the drain. It's scary out there, guys. It's really scary out there. And the reason I'm now putting all these disclaimers, and I will continue to do this, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm doing this for entertainment purposes and for and educational purposes, is because if you provide signals on YouTube, they will delete your channel. Okay? So if you're following someone that's providing setups and signals on YouTube, it's not going to be long and their channels are going to be gone. And this is why I purely focus on education. This is why I always hammer on education. I'd rather teach you how to fish than to show you how to catch one fish and you eat for a day. Because if I can teach you how to fish, you can eat for a lifetime. And now YouTube has made it very clear as well. If you catch or help people to catch fish by providing them with trading setups, your channel will be removed. Okay. Because unfortunately, there are crypto influencers out there that do rug pull their communities. There are crypto influencers out there that tell people, go in, this is where we, 100x leverage, 50x leverage, use half of your, they just misguide and mislead their communities. So I think the people out there and the YouTube influencers that you follow that purely provides technical analysis and education, they will stay. Okay, like this channel. Hopefully this channel will stay. I will just make sure that I keep on throwing the disclaimers in here, and unfortunately I will not provide trading signals inside of this YouTube stream anymore, because the channel will get deleted if I do that. And this is not just for me, this is for everyone out there. So if you do have a channel where they provide signals, well, you need to enjoy while it lasts, because it's not going to last forever. Okay, YouTube is on a warpath and they are going to take these people out. So it's not a free for all and you can rug pull your communities. And I do understand where YouTube is coming from as well. I really do understand. They want to protect you, the viewer. They want you to know that your influencer is not going to rug pull you or promise you the world and deliver nothing. Okay, so I have also increased, guys, and I just need to talk about this before we dive into the technical analysis. I have placed a lot of disclaimers inside of my description as well. Okay, maybe let me show everyone. So in the description now, I will say these are affiliate links. So when you sign up with these links, I may or may not earn a small a commission from it. Okay, but it's at no additional cost to you. This is the truth. I'm just stating the facts. You do qualify for the best bonuses and sign up what these exchanges offer by using the links down in the description. Okay. And right, but the disclaimers are there, right? These are affiliate links. And if you want to join our Legends Pro community, where we can go a little bit more into detail. Okay, we can go a little bit more into detail in our Legends Pro community. And this is why, guys, I think it's so important for me to build a community separate from this YouTube channel. Because if this channel, for some reason, does get banned in the future, okay, or all channels, all crypto-related channels gets banned in the future, we need to find a new home. Okay, so I am actively, and if you guys have any suggestions, maybe leave a comment after the live stream. If you have any suggestions in terms of other platforms that I could possibly explore where I don't necessarily have to rely on YouTube, please let me know, because maybe I need to start, I need to start diversifying, and I want everyone to still be part of this community. So if there's another platform that we might have to migrate to, let's do it now while we still can. Okay, and I appreciate all the love that you guys are sharing, and I appreciate all the support that you guys have provided me throughout the years here on the channel. But I mean, I'm seeing the reality out there. Okay, people are getting banned, people are getting strikes, people are losing their channels, years and years of work down the drain. And some of these people have abided by the rules. So it seems that there's an AI thing running in the background, and it's just striking people out. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to go into much more detail, but I just wanted to address this elephant in the room. Right, multis, go to Twitch. Okay, but guys, leave your comments after the live stream. If you have any suggestions, leave your comments after the live stream so that it doesn't go missing, because it's difficult for me to go through these comments that you're leaving here at the moment. So after the live stream, I can make notes, I can go and investigate, I can go and do some research. But I am strongly considering not leaving YouTube, but also having another platform. Because at the moment, this stream right now, maybe some of you might not even realize, this stream, every time I go live, is also streamed on X. It's not just streamed on YouTube. So if you go to X, you'll find me there as well. I'm live at the moment, the very same live stream. So I'm already, on 2 platforms, but I think, we need to have backup, guys. I don't want to get a message from YouTube saying that, Dewald, your channel's been deleted. You said something you're not supposed to say. And I think for me, that's the frustrating part at the moment. Even with Andy that got a strike, is they don't tell you what you did wrong specifically so you know how to fix it. You have to kind of guess and throw a stone in the dark and hope it sticks. Okay, so it's a little bit of a, you don't know what you did wrong, or maybe you said something, or maybe it was your title, maybe it was the thumbnail. It's a little bit of a guessing game at the moment, and I'm just hoping that I don't step on any toes, and then the channel is gone. Okay, right, so I am going to take it a little bit more careful. Okay, I'm going to count my words, but I do find comfort in the fact that I've always positioned this channel as an educational channel. And if you want signals, go somewhere else. Okay, this is not a signals channel. So that is something that I do firmly stand by and believe in, is that, you know, for me, it is way more important to show you my analysis. You make your own trading decision, but you're learning from it so that you can do it by yourself. Okay, so now that I have Dewald, the stream is not live on X. Well, that's weird, because yeah, on my software it says it is live on X. Okay, right, it says it is live on X at the moment, so I'm not sure where it's streaming on X, but I will get that link and I will include it in the description for next time, so you guys also know where I'm streaming on X. Okay, it might not be on my channel, it might be on the Bitcoinsensus main channel. Okay, now let's get into the technical analysis. So also, guys, if you do not see your favorite influencer live at the moment, they might have gotten a strike. Okay, and what a strike basically means, you get 3 strikes. Strike 1, banned for 7 days. Strike 2, banned for 7 days. Strike 3, they delete your channel. You're out the game. Okay, so if you have not seen maybe your favorite influencer going live, they might have gotten a strike. Okay, and I mean, my heart goes out to Andy, because I know that Andy is also so heavily focused on education, and you know, he's literally scrambling trying to figure out what did he do wrong, because they didn't tell him what he did wrong. Okay, so you kind of just have to now wing it, I suppose. Right. Oh, the other channel. Okay, perfect, cool. So let's get into the technical analysis. Remember to smash up that like button. Okay, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because this is where we do pure technical analysis. So on the 8-hour time frame, let's look at the 8-hour time frame. Where are we on the 8-hour time frame? So let's just look at this little structure. Okay, the bulls are holding on, guys. The bulls are holding on. For now, we still have a higher low. For now, we still have a higher low. It is very close. So let's take a fib from the low to the high. Okay, and you can see that the 0.886 still has not been claimed. Almost claimed, but you can see it has not been claimed. And yes, you can still get a significant bounce even if you claim the 0.886. But what you don't like about claiming the 0.886, it does unfortunately increase the probabilities that you're going to take the low. So if price makes one more dip and it claims the 886, you can still get a significant bounce. Often what happens, okay, is that when you claim the 0.886, price likes to go back to the 0.618 and then it takes the low. It's not guaranteed, but it does happen often. So you could still get a nice little rally, okay, but the probabilities are now higher to claim that low. So you can take advantage of the move, but you just need to be careful, because if you, as soon as you tap the 0.886, you decrease the probabilities of taking that high from this spot. You claim the low first, and then maybe we can talk about claiming the highs. Okay, so for now, price has, you know, this is why I have this little area over here. We are currently here at the point of control. Currently at the point of control, this is where price is chopping at the moment. So when you have dumps like this to the downside, it's always very interesting to go to the higher time frame and just see structurally, where are we? We still have a higher low. There is still a chance for a little bit of a bounce here to the upside. But, okay, and this is what I told the Legends Pro community this morning as well. You have to wait for momentum to start shifting. Okay, and the easiest way that I can explain What do you mean by momentum needs to start shifting? Is when I go onto the 4-hour time frame and I look at this dump to the downside, okay? If you are planning to long, you have to be patient, okay? And this is what I'm tracking, guys. I'm tracking the momentum. And if you are, for example, as a trader planning to long, well, you have to wait for momentum to start shifting. And based on these momentum lines, momentum has not shifted yet. So if you are looking for longs and you don't have a strategy for catching the bottoms, okay, and I'll get to that in a moment as well, well, there's nothing for you to do at the moment. You just wait. Because whatever price does here, you don't care. You're now waiting for this trend to be broken. Okay, then it comes to the second trend. Maybe it breaks out here. Okay, it can either reject or it can break out. Okay, momentum is shifting. Now this is the most important trend. Okay, it's either going to reject or it's going to break out. Okay, so there's a lot of trading opportunities in the zone, but you have to wait for momentum to start shifting. For now, price is rolling down. Price is forming lower highs and lower lows at the moment. Okay, so if you have a strategy to catch these little bottoms, by all means, you apply your strategy with good risk management. And sorry guys, like I said in the introduction, I'm not going to provide signals. Okay, I cannot afford this channel to be banned. Right, if you want more information, more smaller time frame analysis, you're going to have to join our Legends Pro community. Okay, that's it, right? So, and that makes me also think that I think I'm going to spend a lot more time inside of the Legends Pro community because there's a lot more that I cannot say on YouTube, which is actually great because I think from a pro member's perspective, okay, you always have those little nuggets for yourself. Right. Okay. Now, we can go and analyze this structure in a moment. This is a very interesting structure, but let's just stick here on the higher time frame. I want to jump here to the Coinbase chart. Okay. Right. Something that I discussed in my previous live stream is the Doomsday scenario. So let's quickly talk about the Doomsday scenario because I got a lot of comments from people about this scenario, my Doomsday scenario. Okay. Which is actually not a bad scenario. And when price, or if price, takes the low, this scenario starts carrying much higher probability. Okay, so like I mentioned in the previous live stream, it's not to say that this scenario can't play out. The reason I had a little bit of a pet peeve in my last live stream is to say that you cannot, as a technical analyst, say that this is the only scenario. Because there's always more than one scenario. Okay, because price can still turn around without claiming this low. Price can still turn around and claim the high. So you have to have a different count always, and you have to have a plan for when that happens. And that's the most important aspect for me, is that if you waiting for this and price does this, well, what was your plan? So that you can still take advantage of this move. Okay, and this is why I highlighted the momentum shift trend lines, because that will be your first sign that momentum starting to shift back up. Okay, right. The reason I like this scenario, by the way, okay, the reason I like it, there's a couple of problems that I've highlighted in the previous live stream. You guys remember the problems that I've highlighted with the scenario? But let me talk about one of the reasons I do like this scenario. The reason I like it is because how we end it. We end it with a three-wave structure. I cannot tell you how incredibly rare it is to end a bull market with a three-wave structure to the upside. Incredibly rare. Okay, unless it's an ending diagonal. And then when I go onto the ending diagonal, there's problems with the ending diagonal as well. But okay, if this is indeed a five-wave structure, which ended in January of this year, which means that the 4-year cycle theory was broken anyways, because we actually ended the bull market here. This is part of a correction. This is a correction, which means we've been inside of a bear market since Jan. Okay, but then this this gives this scenario higher probability because you can end a B wave in a 3-wave structure. You have a 3-wave in a W, you have a 3-wave in a X, and you have a 3-wave in a B, which means you want to form a flat in a C and take the low of A. Which means in this scenario, if it had to play out, this is extremely bullish. It might seem like the end of the world, but if you have a 5-wave move up and a flat corrective structure, there's a good chance, okay, that price is going to go up in a 3rd wave. And it could hit some massive targets to the upside, okay, where this becomes 1, this is 2, you go up for 3, you form a 4, you go back up for a 5. Okay, so this could potentially still be very bullish if the scenario had to play out. Okay, and the reason I will give the scenario the higher probability than some of the other scenarios is because of this 3-wave. Okay. It's just, guys, it's incredibly rare to end something in a 3-wave structure. And the only thing that makes sense, it's either a flat, okay, or it's a contracting diagonal because we still have not taken the low. Okay, let me just put off the Doomsday scenario. Okay, let me do this. There we go. Right, you formed a contracting diagonal. And all of this is just part of a corrective structure. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal, by the way. And then you have now your corrective structure to the downside. That should not take the low, and you want price to turn around, hopefully before tapping the 0.886. Okay. The 886, guys, is just a game of probabilities at the end of the day. It can literally also tap the 0.886 and still take the high. It's just a game of probabilities. When you tap the 0.88, it increases the probability of taking the low. It does not have to. So maybe, guys, and since this is now an education channel, as it's always been, okay, but more focused on education, when you have an impulse to the upside, okay, let me do this. Right. Wave 2, most common target, okay, from the low of 1 to the high. Okay, let me just switch on all the levels because I was doing some other stuff. Let me switch on all the levels. Okay, there we go. Right. The most common target box for wave 2 is the 50% to the 786. 786 being the maximum target. Okay, but the official Elliott wave rule states that wave 2 can retrace up to 99% of wave 1 and still be a valid. It can even go there. But it's not allowed to claim the low. It's not allowed to claim that low. And this is also what's referred to sometimes as double bottoms. Okay, and then it absolutely just explodes back to the upside. So it is uncommon to see a 0.88 for a wave 2, but it doesn't invalidate it. Okay, so in rare instances, you will see a second wave go deep without claiming the low, and then it just rockets back to the upside to complete the third wave. Okay. So, let me take this out the way. The cycle is different though. Yeah, I mean, crypto fart, it's, I think, you know, and some people have spoken about this on their channels as well. I think this has been one of the most difficult bull cycles to trade. It's not been as euphoric as the previous ones. Maybe the euphoria is still coming, but it, you know, I must be honest and say it is very strange to end a bull market with fear. It's very strange. From a theory perspective, and from a historical perspective, every single bull market, not just in Bitcoin, every single commodity, every single equity that you trade out there, every single bull cycle ends in euphoria, extreme euphoria. And here on Bitcoin, we didn't end the bull cycle in euphoria. Okay, as soon as we got this, you know, we made this little top over here and we dumped, and you know, we started going into fear from a greed and fear index perspective. We did not end the bull cycle in euphoria. So it has really been a very difficult bull market to trade. We haven't had the altcoin season yet. Okay. And I must say, you know, when I look at dominance, let's go have a quick look at dominance. Ooh, Black Friday, guys. Black Friday. See, I'm getting my banner over here. So just FYI, before we look at dominance, if you have a subscription to TradingView, I mean, I've got no affiliate to these guys. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay. Every year on Black Friday, I renew my subscription for the next year. Because 80% discount, hey, it really helps, guys. It really helps. I think I've got like 3 years subscription already, because every time I see a special, I buy it. But I will not pay full price, right? So for those of you that do have a a TradingView subscription, okay, the countdown has started. In 7 days, you'll be able to buy your favorite package at 80% discount. What I sometimes do is you can even upgrade your package, you know, because it's so cheap. Right, so let's look at dominance. Where did I save my little dominance over here? It's not this one. There we go. Right, okay. Dominance has, let's go here onto the weekly time frame. Let's just keep it simple, like I did the last time. Just keeping it simple, okay? Nothing too technical. When we had the last altcoin season, that's what happened. You bounce, you bounce, you bounce, you lose momentum, you retest the scene of the crime, and you fall to the downside. Well, yeah, it's not exactly the same, but it looks very familiar, okay? You bounce, you bounce, you bounce, you lose momentum, you retest it, and now it looks like it wants, you know, there's weakness, guys. There's no denying that dominance has lost momentum. There's weakness at the moment. Okay, so who knows, guys? Who knows? Maybe we're still going to get a surprise, maybe a little Christmas gift before the end of the year. Maybe in January we'll get the Christmas gift. And this little drop here on dominance is what's protecting the altcoins at the moment, because usually, you know, when Bitcoin takes a dump like this to the downside, altcoins have those double-digit drops to the downside. And with dominance falling as well, you can see that alts are being protected. They are still being dragged down by Bitcoin, but they're not capitulating. Important. Now we just need Bitcoin to start reversing and this to continue dropping to the downside. Now that is going to be an interesting recipe for a little bit of an explosion on maybe some selected altcoins. Okay. Hi, Dewald and Legends. Welcome, welcome. You have to have TU license to get a deal. Okay, I would not promote that in the chat. YouTube sees it too. Right, I'm just going through some comments here. Dewald trading, maybe Discord. Yes, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to explore a lot of options. Please post your comments after the live stream for some suggestions. I will go and do some research. Dewald, Binance chart tapped the 0.88. Let's go check it out. Did it tap the 0.88? Let me go check it out. Let's go here on, well, already on the 4-hour time frame. Let's switch off the momentum lines. Ooh. No, it did not. My Binance chart did not. It almost did, but it did not. So go and use your magnets. You'll see it did not. Not yet. But even if it does, the bulls still have a chance, guys. From a, you know what, I think a lot of people get obsessed about bull market and bear market. Like, sometimes when you trade, you just need to forget about it. There's no bull market and there's no bear market. It's just volatility in front of you. And you can trade the volatility from a day trading perspective. Okay? From a day trading perspective, there's opportunities here. Because when I take the FIP out the way, and if I'm planning along, well, then I'm going to take my trend. I'm going to say, okay, here's a high. Ooh, that looks like a nice little 3-touch trend over there. Okay, let's see from this pivot down. Okay, there's a nice little trend forming there. Okay, and then from this drop here to the downside, there's a nice little trend that's forming there. Okay, so I'm planning along, so there's nothing for me to do at the moment. What I can do is I can go and set an alarm, create a little alarm. And then I go and do other stuff. Okay, that's it. I go doing other stuff. I don't care if we're in a bear market. I don't care if we're in a bull market. I'm going to wait for my alarm to go off. And then once my alarm goes off, I will make a trading decision. Okay, because that could either be a shorting opportunity where it rejects again. Okay, you've got resistance at the trend. You've got resistance. So it needs to break out, and there's certain things that you need to look for. Or it breaks out. Okay, and then you have your profit taking areas to the upside. So you just, you need to know where to take profits. It's as simple as that. So from a day trading perspective, if you're planning along, well, there's nothing to do if you're using this strategy. If you're using swing failure patterns, for example, okay, oops, let's take this out the way. You have your levels marked out. Like a pro, you should have your levels marked out. So you need to decide which trading strategy are you using. Okay, where's my daily levels? Let's switch on everything. I know it looks like an absolute Christmas tree, so happy Christmas, but you have to have your levels marked out, because if you are a swing failure pattern trader, well, these levels are very interesting. Okay, we just SFP'd the naked point of control over here. Okay, further down, we still have a daily level. Further down, we still have a weekly level. So you just are paying attention to the reaction when we hit each of those levels, and then you make a trading decision. Something that I teach in my course as well, and I always drop a couple of golden nuggets here as well. Something that I teach in my course is that you have to master one trading strategy. If you are hopping between trading strategies because you are struggling, okay, you're making a mistake. You need to stick to one trading strategy and master it. If it's swing failure patterns, stick to swing failure patterns. If it's the momentum shift or breakout strategy, stick to it, master it, backtest it, journal it, get data for it. Okay. Once you've mastered a strategy, you can incorporate another strategy, and then you master that one. Okay, right. Often people think it's the strategy that's the problem. There's a saying from an IT perspective. So if you're a developer here, I think you'll get it. The ID10T issue. Okay, it's usually an ID10T issue. We'll just leave it at that. Right. Dewald, where to get your full course? I will let you know very, very, very soon, guys. Maybe next week already. I will let you know very soon. Okay, some people in the pro community already got access to the course. They got a massive discount. One person won it for free. And it's most probably next week. Then I will announce it. Okay, but it's still a work in progress, because I told the people that's gotten access to the courses yet, it's going to be a course where I continuously upload new content. Okay, I don't think it will be finished in the short term, because some nights I lie in bed, I'm just like, oh. Now that will be amazing to include that in my course as well. I completely forgot about it. And then I go and record a module and I include it in the course. Someone goes through the course and they maybe give me a comment to say that, well, this is still unclear. I go and do a new module. I include it in the course. So for the people that actually consume the course, it's not going to be, it's done and that's it. I will continuously improve and enhance the course. The templates, the documents, the modules, maybe where I've made some mistakes, spelling mistakes. English is not my first language, so I know I do screw up on spelling mistakes. And for those of you that are doing the course, you must probably saw some of those spelling mistakes. But I mean, hey, as long as you are learning from the content, that's what's important to me. So from a swing failure pattern perspective, guys, well, you need to apply your trading strategy. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I do this for education and entertainment purposes only. And right, and like I said during the beginning of the live stream, I will not be providing signals inside of this channel, because YouTube is on a warpath at the moment. And if you do provide signals inside of your YouTube channel, there's a big chance that your channel is going to get deleted. Okay, so Join the Legends Pro community, link down in the description. Right, so guys, these are a lot of levels, okay? But can you guys see from a trading perspective? Let me share another thing with you. When I day trade, when I didn't have the YouTube channel, I didn't even have price action on the side. I would hide it. There's no prices. I can't see the price. I would even hide the dates. You can go and hide these things, guys. You don't have to have it. Because from a day trading perspective, all you do is you are practicing or executing your trading strategy. And all you need is for price to move. Price needs to move so that you can get your momentums and your profit-taking areas. Okay. The best thing for a day trader is volatility. It's amazing to have volatility. The worst thing for a day trader is sideways choppy action. 1% up, 1% down, and that's a nightmare to trade. This is beautiful to trade. Okay, we're getting some nice volatility. So I know that there's a lot of fear in the market because bear market. Okay, it's over. These are the words that people are echoing out there in the echo chamber. From a day trading perspective, guys, I do not care. I don't care where the price is. I'm looking for a trading opportunity. Yeah, I'm looking for a trading opportunity. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care if price is at $9,000 or if it's at $1 million. Okay, so you need to decide which hat are you wearing. Are you a day trader or are you an investor? If you are an investor, you should not even be on this channel. You should not even be watching this live stream, because what are you watching? I'm discussing day trading opportunities and scenarios. I'm not discussing investment opportunities. Okay. You can wear many hats, but you need to separate those portfolios. Right. Oof, let me just clean this up. Well, what is nice, what I can like to be spotting over here is that price is currently getting a reaction at the naked point of control. That's great. Okay. We have wicks left to the downside, which is great. That's for the moment. Looks like it's a bullish sign. We have wicks left to the downside. For the SFP traders out there, you know what you need to do. For the momentum traders out there, there's nothing to do yet. Okay, there's nothing to do. Okay, you have to wait. What else? Let's go through some comments. Dewald, try Control Z for removing drawing. I know I need to. So many people have told me that. I am just stuck in my ways. Okay, I am so stuck in my ways, guys. There are even indicators. Okay. Of which one was developed by one of our community members. I know there are even indicators that you can get on TradingView to give you all of these levels. And there's Dewald still doing it manually every day. I just like to do it manually. Okay, I like to click on the buttons over here. The keyboard is here behind my mouse. It just feels a little bit uncomfortable to do it that way. Right, so I am a little bit stuck in my ways, I'm afraid. Okay, right, but at least I'm getting the message across. I think that's what's important. Okay, miss the good old days when we used to say BTC is dumping when we lost touch. Yes, most of the altcoins have hit their 0.88. What do you think, Dewald? Well, when you say most of the altcoins, okay, the most important altcoin for me at the moment is Ethereum. The queen of the alts. Okay, and what has Ethereum done? Oh, let's just wait for this to load up. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Well, if ETH has only hit the 0.6 now for the first time. And you can see that I'm also just tracking the momentum here to the downside, waiting for a sign of strength. If you're not playing SFPs, well, and you're playing momentums, you have to wait and be patient. So from a momentum perspective, there's nothing to do yet. You are still forming lower highs and lower lows. You have to wait for momentum to shift. If you want extra confirmation, and this is usually how institutions trade, Okay, they are very cautious. I mean, if you're trading with $1 billion or, you know, big portfolios, and I'm not saying that they're trading ETH and Bitcoin, I'm just saying when they trade equities, Nasdaq, S&P 500, gold, silver, whatever they are trading, they won't do anything here. They will wait for that high to be claimed first. They will wait for this. Okay, now there's a higher high. Let's see what the retracement looks like, because this will give them the information whether they should long or whether they should stay out of the market. But at least you have momentum shift, you have a higher high, you're changing market structure. Remember guys, structure comes first before anything else, before Elliott wave theory, before trend lines, before MACDs, before moving averages. Those things means nothing compared to market structure. Market structure always comes first. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. So to have a confirmation that things could be turning around, you have to claim this high. Okay, and the reason I think a lot of people lose money is because they just buy. They just buy anyway. Okay, you're not waiting, you're not being patient, because I can tell you now, if this had to happen, still going to take a while. And then when price gets here, people are scared that oh crap, we've missed the whole move, and they just FOMO in. The retracements happen. What happens? They FOMO out. So they buy at the top and they sell at where they're supposed to buy. That's usually what happens. Okay. So for now, I'm being patient here on ETH, and for me, this is the most important altcoin to track at the moment, is Mr. Ethereum. And Ethereum, dare I say, still looks great from a structural perspective. You have massive support in this zone. ETH has now tapped the top of this zone over here at the 0.618. Also, I think the most interesting zone would be that point of control there in the middle. Okay, this little point of control where the most amount of volume was traded. Now that, okay, let me snap on a little horizontal there. Now that is an interesting zone for me. Very interesting to pay attention to, maybe for a swing failure pattern where I can get a better entry with phenomenal risk management. Okay, but I mean, there's a lot of support here, guys. It actually tapped the value area high already. It does not have to come to the point of control. So this is why I'm tracking the momentum as well. But I mean, that would be a nice little SFP from the point of control. Okay, but I mean, ETH still has a long way to go before it's going to tap the 0.88. Long way, okay. This looks very impulsive. Okay, ETH looks phenomenal compared to any other altcoin or Bitcoin even. The structure looks phenomenally strong. For some reason, ETH looks very strong, even with this little dumpy dump here to the downside. Okay, nothing's ever guaranteed. But for now, if you take a time flip from the low to the high, you know, when you start crossing the 0.618, the 0.618 from a timing perspective, it starts getting really interesting, because it still hasn't taken the low, and the correction is starting to take a very long time, which is great. And the longer it takes and it does not take the low, the better for the bulls. Yes, guys, there's always the chance, okay? And I have to say this, there's always the chance that it just keeps on chopping and it takes the low. There's always that chance. But I mean, structurally, it still looks great. You have a low, you have a high, and for now, you're at the 0.618. You have loads of support. Dominance is starting to drop. It looks like it's losing momentum. Okay, right. There's just things that I can't say anymore, guys. There's just things that I can't say, okay? Right, you're going to have to learn to read between the lines. But from a, you know, you have to manage risk like a pro. You have to manage your risk like a pro. You have to apply your trading strategy with good risk management. From a momentum perspective, there's nothing to do here at the moment. There's nothing to do. You have to wait. From an SFP perspective, it looks interesting at the moment. Huge support at the 786 for ETH. Yes. I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's that little pivot, okay? This little pivot as well, 786. Okay, maybe it dips below, it grabs the liquidity, okay, and you want to see momentum start shifting. Right, who knows? But it's not time. For me, it's not time yet, depending on which trading strategy you're using. Because I can tell you guys now, from a swing failure perspective, okay, you could have been, maybe you got in here, you took profits when it hit resistance, you left some of the position open, you got stopped out at break even. You try again. You take profits when it hits resistance. You get stopped out at break even. Now maybe you try again. You get stopped out again, or it goes. You don't know, but that's the beauty and the frustration about swing failure patterns is you have to keep on trying. You have to keep on trying until you catch it. But you have to manage your risk like a pro. Okay, you cannot have limit orders, limit orders, limit orders, limit orders, and by the time it turns around, you have no more account left. It's liquidated. No, you have to apply your trading strategy with good risk management. Remember, as always, I have to put this disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor. I do this for education and entertainment purposes only. I hope you guys are all having a good Friday here with me on the live stream. I'm trying to keep it as entertaining as possible. Okay, let's go through some more comment sections or comments. Okay, for now, price is getting a reaction at the naked point of control. Let's see if this can hold. I just want to see if there's more levels here to the downside. If the level doesn't hold, okay, this is what I do, guys. If the level doesn't hold and it rolls down again, well, I'm going to be paying attention to this level. And if it rolls back again, I'm going to be paying attention to this level. But at some that is a very interesting low, by the way. It's a very interesting low. We'll see if we do claim that low. Okay, I cannot give you guys my bias for various reasons. Right. This is why I did a private live stream with the community this morning. Okay, so let's quickly, before I get into the 15-minute time frame, discussing this little structure, let's go through some more comments. Like the video like the video, Blix and Peace, almost 100. Rave ZA, you are hilarious, man. It's not often that I see Afrikaans comments here in the live stream. Okay, Alts tell us we have been in bear market for the year. Do you think 2000 beginning of the bull market and BTC could go to 45k? Yeah, I mean, no one has a crystal ball at the end of the day, okay? And I cannot make such a prediction with accuracy, but what I can tell you is what I'm seeing. Okay, dominance is dropping. We can all see dominance is weak at the moment from a technical perspective. So let me just bring that back up. So on the daily time frame, okay, dominance looks weak. It has, oops, what did I do now? It has lost momentum. It came back for a retest, failed to claim back above, and then it formed this, you know, this choppiness, and now it's lost the trend. So technically, dominance looks very weak. Technically, ETH is at an amazing place for a bounce. Okay, it really is at an amazing place for a bounce, because technically we all know that the 0.618 is a well-respected Fibonacci level. You still have a higher low. There's weakness in dominance. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I need to be patient and I need to wait before I can execute my trading strategy. From a spot back perspective, I'm just holding, guys. Okay, you just hold, right? And if there's a nice little dip, you add if you want to. I can only tell you what I'm doing. I add when there's dips. I add when there's fear. I have bought, personally, I have bought. I cannot tell you what to do, okay? I have bought the fear. If altcoins does this, well, then I just have to hold on, okay? That's the consequences of my risk management. I just have to hold on. Right, but I have trained my brain that when I see this, fear and greed, this one, and there's most probably going to be dinosaurs that's going to pop up here on the screen again. Yeah, for some reason, every time I go in here, there's dinosaurs. Anyways, when I see this, Okay, let me do this. When I see this, where's my pen? That is when I buy. No financial advice. I do this for entertainment purposes only, because there's still a good chance that we could go and sweep, go down further, right? But that is my signal to start adding when I see this. There's no ways that if this needle is over here, or over here, or over here, there's no ways that I am buying spot in this zone. No ways. Okay, that's my strategy. But when it's here, I don't mind adding, because sentiment is very bearish. And this is usually a spot where a lot of people are too scared to buy. So I've just trained my brain, when I see this, I buy. And so far, it has paid off for me, so far. Okay. And it's not to say that Bitcoin can't go down further, the altcoins can't go down further, but for me, it's just a good macro sign that it's a good time to start adding, for me personally. I can only tell you what I am doing personally. No financial advice, guys. Okay. And it's the risk that I'm prepared to take. Dewald, I don't see what you shared in Pro Chat. The last one is invalidated. Pro Chat. Okay. Right. I did do a YouTube live stream, a private YouTube live stream, where myself and Andy discussed all the scenarios that we are looking at. Remember, guys, you need to practice your trading strategies as well. Okay. What else can I say? Okay. Right. And this is basically what I see here on the price of Bitcoin. A quick thank you for the refreshing take education. I'm a spot investor and equities options trader that came into perpetuals this cycle, my first cycle with leverage, and you and Andy have been fantastic. Elliott wave theory. Absolute pleasure, man. Absolute pleasure. So just quickly, I just want to end it off with this structure, guys. I want to quickly just have a look at this structure. And yes, there's definitely a possibility for further downside. But there's also a little bit of, what's the right word? Let me just switch this count on, okay? Purely from an education perspective and from an Elliott wave perspective, there's a chance that the low could be close to in based on this scenario. Obviously, if price capitulates to the downside, I'll have to rethink the scenario and maybe there's a different count. But looking at this count, there's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and this could potentially be the last leg for this little fifth wave over here. Okay, when you have an impulse to the downside, this is where it becomes beautiful and dangerous at the same time. You could get that little relief. Okay, and if it's a 3-wave structure up, you're looking for shorting opportunities. If it's a 5-wave structure up, you're looking for longing opportunities. Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot go into more detail than that. You need to join the Legends Pro community. Right, links always down in the description. Right, Legends, let me just like this live stream over here. I just want to see what CVD is doing at the moment. For now, it's a little bit neutral. Okay, it's still very fresh over here. The other thing I wanted to highlight, okay, is that I know that this move, this latest move to the downside, has a lot of volume. I know that is dangerous because it could literally capitulate here to the downside, and then we are looking at that doomsday scenario where we claim the low. But the flip side of the coin is that a corrective structure also ends on high volume. Okay, C waves. Let's see if we can find, just for curiosity's sake, let's see if we can find some examples. Okay, where was some C waves? I know that there was lots of C waves in this range. Okay, there's a C wave. Okay, let me zoom into this. Let me show you guys. There's a C wave, high amount of volume. Okay, those corrective structures ends on high amounts of volume. Okay, high amount of volume. You do get them play out often. Okay, high amount of volume. They can end on a high amount of volume. It is characteristic for a corrective structure to also end on high volume. But it could also be the beginning of something really bad. Okay, Guys, I have to give you the bullish and the bearish case scenario. You as a trader need to decide what you are going to do when your plan gets executed, or when your alarm goes off, or when a level gets hit. Okay. Like I said, for those of you that just joined the live stream, I can unfortunately not give signals. Okay, so join our Legends Pro community down in the description. But Dewald trading that 5-wave volume is higher than the 3rd wave. Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's a dangerous zone. This is a dangerous zone. But counting the structure with the current price action that I see, there's a chance that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a C wave. And C waves love to end on a high amount of volume, which confuses a lot of traders. The flip side of it is maybe it just falls you to the downside. And then I'm going to have to say that, well, maybe this was a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and now we absolutely capitulate. Okay, but I don't know if this is nested 1-2s. I don't know, because there's not enough price action. Based on the price action I see today, now, okay, it could be close to the end. It could be. I don't know. And that's why you need to apply your trading strategy with good risk management, so that when you're wrong, you get stopped out. Hopefully with not more than what you can afford to lose. Okay. From a trend line perspective, well, this is the thing you need to wait for. Okay, if you want confirmation, if you want a little bit of confirmation that price is turning around, at least claim that high. Because then you're going to invalidate multiple 1-2s to the downside. If price comes up here, it breaks the trend and it claims this high. Okay, there's no more 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 because you invalidated it. Then we could be looking at maybe a little bit of a reversal to the upside. Okay. Right. Cool, legends. Have yourselves an amazing weekend. This is unfortunately all I have time for today. We've discussed ETH. We've discussed Bitcoin dominance. We've looked at some of the possibilities on Bitcoin. And I encourage you, if you joined the live stream a little bit late, I encourage you to go watch the beginning of the live stream. Okay, I made some important announcements during the beginning of the live stream. And go and check it out. Please leave your comments at the end of the live stream, like I've requested in the beginning, for some suggestions on alternative platforms that you guys think that will do well. And have yourselves an amazing weekend. Until the next one, cheers for now.